we are going to discuss preparation strategy for Common Law Admission Test CLAT. If you are watching this video, it is safe to assume that you have decided to choose law as your career option. Law is one of the fastest growing professions in India and it is getting tougher year by year. Less than 2,500 seats in top national law universities and more than 50,000 students competing to get into them. Well, relax, these are just numbers. We are here to discuss how you can enter into your dream law school. First thing first, know your law schools. Friends, CLAT is like a fellowship of NLUs assembling together to attract the brightest minds of India. So, this is a common gateway for all these colleges. One exam to get them all. Here's a list of national law universities taking admission exclusively through CLAT score. National Law School of India University, Bangalore. National Academy of Legal Study and Research University of Law, Nalsar, Hyderabad. National Law Institute University, Bhopal. West Bengal National University of Juridical Sciences, Kolkata. National Law University, Jodhpur. Hidayatullah National Law University, Raipur. Gujarat National Law University, Gandhinagar. Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia National Law University, Lucknow. Rajiv Gandhi National University of Law, Punjab. Chanakya National Law University, Patna. National University of Advanced Legal Studies, Kochi. National Law University, Odisha, Cuttack. National University of Study and Research in Law, Ranchi. National Law University and Judicial Academy, Assam. Damodar Ram Sanjeevayya National Law University, Visakhapatnam. Tamil Nadu National Law School, Tiruchirappalli. Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai. Maharashtra National Law University, Nagpur. Last year, National Law University, Aurangabad also used CLAT score. Other than these colleges, there are two more national law schools presently operating in India. National Law School Shimla, which conducted its own entrance exam, and National Law School Delhi, which has been conducting AILET since 2008. This selection is based on merit cum preference basis. So, higher your score, better are your chances of getting into the top law schools of India. CLAT is conducted on second Sunday of May every year. CLAT 17 was conducted on 17th May and CLAT 18 is going to be conducted on 13th May. Exam pattern. CLAT is an online exam comprising of 200 MCQs. There are 5 sections: English including comprehension, general knowledge and current affairs, legal aptitude, mathematics, logical reasoning. All questions carry equal weightage. You can +1 for every correct answer and 0.25 is deducted for incorrect answers. In order to appear for CLAT, a student must have passed class 12th or any other equivalent examination with minimum 45% for students from general and OBC category or with 40% aggregate for students from reserved categories. Although there is an age bar of maximum age limit of 20 years, but last year through a court judgment age bar was scrapped. For CLAT 18, whether there would be age bar or not will depend upon the final notification, which is going to be released in January. Let's break into subjects and try to understand what needs to be done for each and every subject area. You cannot have a uniform approach for all the subjects. There is a reason why they have been compartmentalized into different sections. English and reading comprehension. Keeping in mind the importance of English language in legal profession, English has been given a strong weightage of 40 marks. Whether you will be at a law firm or a high court or supreme court, everywhere mode of communication is English. So you need to be really good at it. What you write, how you write, the way you write your judgment is going to directly or indirectly shape up the law of the nation. Comprehension tests your ability to comprehend a given situation, and vocabulary will check in how many interesting ways can you express yourself. Imagine yourself standing in the court of law. Now, what you speak and the way you speak is the only thing that is going to matter, and that is just one part of the legal field, and thus language has been given prime importance. Preparation is just about developing good habits. So, friends, start reading English newspaper, start watching English TV shows and movies with subtitles. This will improve your reading speed, your vocabulary and your grammatical understanding. Maintain a register for legal vocabulary. Wherever you come across a new word, write it down, and along with that also write down all its antonyms and synonyms that you can recall. This register will become a permanent tool for improving your word power. If you come from a vernacular background, one important thing that you will need to do is learn to start thinking in English. So many people from vernacular medium have been thinking in Hindi or their other mother tongue or local language and then translating it into English. This will cause a lot of delay which might cost you dearly in the actual examination. Solve a lot of comprehension passages, and make sure that you start practicing using these words in your day-to-day life. This way you would be able to recall these words when in need. Moving on to next subject, logical reasoning. This section comprises of standard form of LR and CR question, that is logical reasoning and critical reasoning related questions, which appear in almost all competitive examination. Solving as many question papers as possible of different competitive exams is your short way of excelling in this particular section. A lot of practice will help you in solving these questions with better accuracy and with better efficiency. Practice is your only recourse, because if we look at the trend for past 2 years, logical reasoning section has been slightly difficult than other areas. Moving on to next subject, mathematics. Many people have a phobia of mathematics. Might be because you didn't opt for mathematics as a subject after class 10th. But remember my friends, the type of question that you are going to face in this exam are from your class 10th level syllabus. Questions from areas such as LCM, HCF, ratio, proportion, probability, time, distance. These are the common question types which are testing your elementary commercial mathematics. So all of you are capable of excelling in this particular subject area. Although there are just 20 questions and many students tend to overlook this section, you can say neglect this section, but this section might become your tiebreaker. This section might be the key differentiator between you and your competitor. All of you can excel in this area because all of you have already passed class 10th. Moving on to next subject, general knowledge. General knowledge or current affairs is the most scoring area in CLAT paper. Although the stretch of this subject is very wide, starting from what happened to the God's particles since the beginning of the time till what happened today. Everything could be asked. Generally, this section is divided into two portions, current affairs and static knowledge. Static is something which doesn't change. For example, who was the first Prime Minister of India? Now, whatever we may do, but we can't change that fact. Current affairs tests your awareness about the day-to-day happenings which appeared in the mainstream media in past 1 year. So anything which appeared in the mainstream media from previous year's exam date till this year's exam date is relevant for you. Start creating subject-wise notebooks and start noting down all relevant important events that are taking place. Make separate copies for history, science, sports. And remember, I told you to read English newspapers and watch English news shows. That is going to come handy in order to update your general knowledge as well. In exam, one option will seem less confusing than the other three if you are prepared thoroughly. Imagine getting 1 extra mark for knowing that Usain Bolt won 3 gold medals and not 2. And how do you know that? Because you have been revising from your notes. So make sure that you do not neglect this area of your CLAT preparation and provide continuous efforts in order to improve your general knowledge. Moving on to another subject, legal aptitude. Legal aptitude. Well, you are appearing for an exam for law schools. What else did you expect? Legal aptitude is also a tiebreaker subject in CLAT exam. If there are more than 2 kids having same total score in CLAT, whoever has scored better in legal aptitude will be given preference. LA comprises of 4 different types of questions. The most commonly asked type is the one having legal reasoning. In this type of questions, you will be provided a principle or multiple principles, and there would be a factual situation. All that you need to do is apply that principle on the given situation and answer accordingly. You cannot apply any extra or additional knowledge that you might possess. So, these type of questions are just verbal reasoning questions with a legal twist. Another type of question set that you might come across is legal knowledge based questions, in which they can either ask legal conceptual questions or check your legal awareness. If you have been preparing your GK, you won't face difficulty in answering legal awareness questions. For legal conceptuals and legal reasoning, practice and revision is the only short way of excelling there. Past the question papers are the best source of questions for you to practice. Every year, up to 30% question paper is repeated from the past year papers. So far, 10 CLAT exams have been conducted, and if you solve all past year CLAT papers, all past year SET and ALT papers, then you will feel much more confident with your CLAT preparation. Along with all this stuff, bringing in some lifestyle changes will definitely enhance your performance in your exam. A couple of tips which you might keep in mind shall be: always have a permanent station for studies. That means you shall have a permanent place where you are going to sit and study. Don't change your place every now and then. Reading while sleeping on a couch is a bad strategy, because sleep monster might take over you anytime. Another tip could be to start preparing handwritten notes for all your subjects. Do not try to sit for a very long stretch of time if you are not in the habit of doing so. It is not necessary to study for 8 hours or 12 hours per day. If you can sit for a continuous period of an hour, if that is your capacity, your capability, then I won't request you to stretch it by more than 10 or 20 minutes. That means if you are capable of sitting at a stretch for an hour, sit for at least an hour and 10 minutes. If you are capable of sitting for 2 hours, try to stretch it to 2.5 hours. So that is how you slowly and gradually increase your stamina for studying. Another tip could be to take up small steps in order to complete your syllabus. Make sure that you divide your entire syllabus into smaller chunks and take small targets on weekly basis. Every Sunday, try to recapture and revise whatever you have studied in past 1 week. This way, you will be in the position to keep a track of your progress. Refer to relevant sources of information. If you are part of various WhatsApp and Facebook pages and groups, you are susceptible to rumors roaming around. Every year around May, a rumor starts circulating that this year onwards, CLAT might be conducted also in Hindi. That's a bogus Hawks news. If you are part of these groups, make sure that you do not fall into such traps. A better strategy could be to avoid all distractions. For this preparation period, it might be a year or two, whichever course you have opted for, make sure that you keep away from distractions as much as possible. So friends, try to sacrifice Facebook, WhatsApp, Insta and other such deviations and distractions for a while. You will see a drastic difference in your performance. Appearing for ample mock tests will boost up your confidence. Just appearing for multiple mock tests is not enough. Make sure that after appearing for each and every mock test, you do a detailed analysis of your performance. You should be through with your weaknesses and your strengths. You should know which area is going to be a forte when you appear for the CLAT exam and which is your weakness area. Make sure that you are putting in enough time in order to improve your weak areas. You have to eradicate and rectify all the areas or fault lines where you have been lacking so far. This way, after every consecutive mock test, you would know how far have you improved with respect to your CLAT preparation. CLAT has been going through phases. At times, CLAT paper is very difficult, at times it is very easy. Even if in your turn CLAT paper turns out to be a difficult one, there's no need to panic. If the question paper is tough, it is tough for everybody else. If question paper is tough, it doesn't really mean that you're not going to get into a good law school. Your performance is completely relative in nature. If you want to improve your chance to score best, start at the right time and under proper guidance. Keeping yourself in competitive environment and solving multiple practice tests will give you courage of Sunny Deol from Damini, confidence of Arshad Warsi from Jolly LB, and sincerity of Rahul Bose from Shaurya. And most of all, it will give you realistic legal knowledge which our movies fail to capture. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Keep preparing. Happy CLATting. Thank you so much for watching.